Alright, so yesterday floors 91 to 100 were released, and I thought I'd do a guide of the first 5 floors. I'm up to floor 98 right now. I'm out of Abyss tokens, but I'll record the next 5 when I have the time. So basically for each fight, I'm going to go over a difficulty rating, my subjective difficulty rating, and then the most important part, I'm going to go over the detailed mechanics of that fight to help you beat that level. And I'll also cover the teams I use to beat it, and I'll also put my normal comments in the little text that floats around. I will not go over the phase 1 of any of these fights. All of them are really easy. I just auto them. If you can't beat phase 1, basically you're not ready to try the boss anyway. If you don't have the specific heroes that I used, just use a hero of a similar kit that you do have. So everyone should have a Momo anyway. If you don't just build her, you need her. If you don't have Tama, bring another cleanser or an attack buffer. Single target DPSs, you can bring pretty much everything. I use Ken, but you can use something like Commander Lorena, Luna. Everyone should have Commander Lorena. For tanks, Falconer Clury is amazing. I use Fallen CC and Troublemaker occasionally, but the point is interchange your heroes if you don't have the ones I used. If you want advice on what heroes to use, just leave a comment. I try to respond to everyone who uses or puts a comment in one of my videos. So let's go ahead and get started. Alright, so floor 91. I give this a difficulty of a 2. It was a very easy fight. This is my Hell Raid team and I cleared it on the first try. So the main mechanic of this fight is that you can't debuff her. You can't debuff her with any of your own buffs. Basically, you have to debuff her by killing these mushrooms. Now, each mushroom has a different debuff. So I think the top right one is the most important one. It gives decreased defense. The yellow one is unable to be buffed. I think one of the two is decreased speed down here and decreased attack. Basically, all the mushrooms are irrelevant. Just kill the top right one that's purple and basically get decreased defense on her so you can nuke her down. All the other things really don't matter. Until you have a debuff on her, if you look at this, it decreases damage suffered by 100%. So I'm going to go ahead and hit Charlotte. Does 1 damage. It does nothing. So basically you have to kill the mushrooms. So I'm going to go ahead, I'm not going to beat this, I'm just going to show you. I'm going to kill this purple mushroom right now. And you see how all those things pop up that tell you what they do? I'm going to go ahead and kill this purple mushroom. And you'll see that she gets decreased defense. So now you can hit Charlotte and actually do damage to her. And that's basically all there is to this fight. It's just a tank and spank. She's pretty easy to tank overall. Even though it looks like my C-Dom's about to die right here. So that's all you do in this fight. You basically just heal, keep killing that purple mushroom, and attack her. And basically, if you can heal through her damage, you'll eventually win. So ultimately, not a very hard fight to beat. Yeah, that's all there is to this one. Let's move on to floor 92. Floor 92. This was the hardest one for me so far. I give this one a difficulty of an 8. The only fight so far where I actually had to re-gear someone. I had to build Kiris. So here I have Troublemaker, Kiris, Basar, and Amomo. Basically, it's mandatory that you have a cleansing Soul Weaver. You need a debuffer like Falconer Clury or Basar. Troublemaker is useless. I only used him because my Kiris has no life, and I was annoyed that she kept dying. You can literally replace Troublemaker with anything. Kiris will be your only DPS. So in terms of mechanics, the main thing about this fight is that Tywin puts up a barrier that is only damaged by poison, bleed, and burn, and additional damage like Reingar's or Uberid's Tooth. Everything else he's immune to, basically, once he gets that barrier up. So basically you need to Kiris cheese him or bring some other person with a lot of bleeds. The other thing is his S3. If he casts it and he has any buffs up whatsoever, then he summons 3 Terranor guards that do a ton of damage. So the main key to this fight is basically make sure you use something like Basar to debuff him right before he uses his S3. And I'm going to show you that now. Alright, so this here is the key to winning this fight. You notice how Tywin has increased attack and crit chance up? that means he's about to summon 3 Terranor guards. This is how you win the fight. This is the most important part of this fight. When he has his S3 up, and you could tell when this R is lit up, it basically means he's going to S3 next turn. You need to dispel all his buffs. And he actually has a lot of effect resist. That's why I'm using Basar. I tried using Charles, but he kept resisting. So you want to remove all of his buffs. It'll also remove it from Roman. I mean, that's not that important, but it will kind of reduce some of his damage. And then at this point,
I'll take care of this.
I'm just going to go ahead so he does his S3 just to show you. Roman goes. The key here is that he's not going to summon any Terranor guards. So if you're getting screwed up by these Terranor guards every time you fight this, it's because Tywin had buffs up. The other thing to note is that if he has buffs up, you get unbuffable, so it makes it even harder for you. So a lot of this fight is just making sure that Tywin never has buffs. So here, Tywin S3s. And you notice that no Terranor guards appeared. And that's how you basically win this fight. Alright, so I wanted to show you guys what happens if you don't dispel the buffs. You see these Terranor guards that pop up? They do a lot of damage. I just wanted to show you this, so I'm definitely going to lose this one. They already killed my Basar. But basically, if you don't dispel the buffs before he S3, this is what happens. These Terranor guards come out, and they go ape shit and start destroying you. The other final tip I could give you is if you're struggling with this fight, some people Zerg Tywin down. I find it easier to actually kill Roman first. Kill him before the first 70% barrier, otherwise he might kill your team with this. This actually does a decent amount of damage. So when I beat him, I actually went for Roman first. Some people skip going for Roman to make it a little faster, but if you're struggling, my recommendation is kill Roman first, and it'll make this fight much easier to tank. So anyways, that's basically the gist of floor 92. Let's move on to floor 93. Alright, so floor 93. I give this a difficulty of a 5. A little tricky, but it's not a hard fight. It took me 2 tries. So basically this is yet another Abyss boss that discourages debuffing because she has a 20% chance to counter with Hail, but it's a 100% chance if she's debuffed. I ended up using Charles anyway because it didn't matter. Every time I decrease attacked her, she would counter me, but her counter actually doesn't do that much damage, so it's not that big of a deal. She's immune to things like Daydream Joker when Zerato's alive. Basically, don't bother killing Zerato because her S3 will revive him anyway. And other than that, this fight is pretty easy. It's just a tank and spank. The main thing that's concerning is when Dominiel and Zerato line up their S3s at the same time, because Zerato can do a team-wide stun, and then if Dominiel S3s right after, it might wipe you. If you're tanky enough, you'll probably survive it, which is why I brought Troublemaker. The other thing to note is that her S3 is stackable decreased defense. So basically, it has like an enrage timer. If you don't kill her fast enough, eventually they'll start doing tons of damage to you. But it's really not a big deal. You notice my team only has a single DPS, Charles, and I still managed to kill it before they were one-shotting me. So I don't think it stacks very fast. But basically, this is just another simple tank and spank fight. Alright, so here I'm going to show you an example of what happens when they line their S3s up, which is the only real danger in this fight. So here Zerato's going to S3 and then Dominiel should go right after him, if my Charles would stop countering people. So here we go. Bam. And you'll see my whole team is stunned. You can immunity it, I'm pretty sure. And then Dominiel does her S3 right after. So it's not a huge amount of damage in the beginning, but like I said, it stacks decreased defense every time, so it does do a lot later. And note that Zerato's attack also basically dispels buffs.
Close your eyes.
Anyways, like I said, ultimately this is a tank and spank, and I just recorded the end of the video just to prove that you could do it with a single DPS Charles that still has a debuff. Not a very hard fight. You just need to make sure that you're able to survive their dual burst. So let's move on to floor 94. Alright, so floor 94. I gave this one a difficulty of a 3, but if you have Seaside Bologna, the difficulty is probably more like a -10. Seaside could probably solo this whole fight. If you don't have Seaside, you're just going to have to bring a lot of AoE attackers. So let's go over his moves. Basically, the main thing is when he S3s, he summons a bunch of shades. And if a shade is alive, basically he gets like a permanent stealth that you can't get him out of. So basically you have to kill all the shades to attack him. But the thing is, AoE attacks still hit him. And the other main thing is the shades only take 1 damage from single target attacks. So I failed the first time I did this because I brought my Hell Raid team with 0 AoE. Basically, you need AoE to beat this fight to kill the shades. And let me go ahead and show you that. So here, he's about to S3 and summon his shades. And just for fun, go ahead, Seaside counters already, and you'll see the counter does full damage because it's AoE. I'm going to cleanse, and then I'm going to go ahead and attack one of the shades with Tama with defense breakup. 1 damage. So basically the shades are completely immune to single target attacks. Basically, you have to use AoEs to kill Assassin Sid. So basically the name of the game is just surviving and spamming AoE moves. The other thing I would say you could do is possibly use triple healer Arky. I don't think he has any kind of healing mechanic. I didn't personally try it, but in the earlier floors, I used to triple healer Arky a lot of the fights. Let's see, does he have anything that removes souls? It doesn't look like he has anything that removes souls. So yeah, I think that triple healer would actually be viable here. Now here's another important key to this fight. Now right here, I can R-key and kill all these shades, but why is that a bad idea? It's because his S3 is off cooldown. He's literally going to S3 the next turn. So if I kill all these shades, they'll instantly come right back. So the better play is to just let him S3, because his S3 doesn't heal them or anything. If there are any shades up, it does absolutely nothing other than the little damage thing that it does. So now, since I didn't kill the shades, SSB is going to counter. Take all the shades down, and look, now I get a few turns where I can basically attack the Assassin Sid unmolested. Oh, actually there's one shade that survived. So I'm going to go ahead and just arc you that and kill it. And now, everyone can attack the real Assassin Sid for full damage for a few more turns. So make sure you're doing that. Make sure you're not blowing all your strong AoEs right before he S3s. Otherwise, you're going to destroy your damage output. So basically that will just continue, so just keep doing the same thing over and over, and eventually you'll take him down. Not a very hard fight, just be judicious with your Arky use and your timing with killing the shades. So now let's move on to floor 95. Alright, so floor 95. I'd say this difficulty is like a 2. I cleared it on my first try with my Hell Raid team. Let's go over the mechanics of it. So he can't be debuffed with more than 3 debuffs, or else it's going to remove all of them and then he can use his S3 again. He increases in speed every time he uses his S3, and his attack goes up every time one of his allies dies. And these are just his normal attacks, but the main thing is his S3. In his first S3 he summons DN and Bask. The second time he does it he summons Crow and Corvus, and third time he does it, or anything after 3, he decreases your team's defense, and the attack damage of it goes up every time he casts it. Now, the reason why this fight is easy is that he summons all these heroes, but the vast majority of them don't really seem to do anything. I would say, some people say DN has an ultimate. I never saw it because I killed her so quickly. They have low life, but apparently DN you should kill. And then I killed Corvus. Apparently he has an S3 that could stun your team or something. Again, I never saw it because I killed him too quickly. But basically, when he casts his S3, and let's go ahead and see him do it now, 2 characters are going to appear. So let's see.
Is it my turn?
He's slow as balls in the first wave. So he's going to summon DN and Bask right here. And the thing about these extra heroes is that they do next to no damage. So basically I found that, you know, you end up killing them anyway because for 2 turns he gets this barrier, and the barrier is huge. There's no reason to attack him, and you can't dispel it. So you're going to attack DN anyway until that barrier goes down, and she inevitably dies, and then you just switch back to Charles. Then he summons Corvus, you switch to Corvus, then you switch back to Charles. And it's a really easy fight. So I'm going to go ahead and fast forward to when he summons Corvus and Crow. Alright, so Charles is about to S3 for the second time here, so he should summon Crow and Corvus. You'll notice DN is dead already, and I brought Fire Ken, so he missed like every attack on DN, and she still died. So again, they don't have a whole lot of life. Now I will say one thing about Crow. He has his S3, and if he lands it on you, you get stunned for 3 freaking turns, so it's a long time. So you really want to bring 2 cleansers so that if one of your cleansers gets S3, he or she is not out of the fight for freaking like 3 rounds. You might not be able to heal through the damage if that happens. But otherwise, basically the strategy here is kill DN while Charles is barriered, and then kill Corvus while Charles is barriered, and then just finish off Charles. If you don't have the damage to kill these 2 for whatever reason, I mean, it might just be a gear check for you guys, but honestly, these 2 heroes, or 3 heroes, if you watch them, they're not doing a whole lot of damage, so you can probably just tank through it anyway. Again, I never even saw Corvus's S3 because he died so quickly, but this is really not a hard fight compared to some of the other ones out there. So let's fast forward to the end. Alright, so here we are at the end. Like I said, my team's at full health. I have these 2 still up. They don't really do anything. So honestly, I'd say just keep them alive. If you're getting annoyed by the immunity that he puts up, you can kill him. But really, there's no need. So I'm going to go ahead and finish Charles right here. And that's all there is to this fight. So that's floor 95. That's it for this video. But I'll do floors 96 to 100 next time. A few more random tips is Archie spam is still really powerful, so I'd say if you're struggling with some of these fights, before you get to phase 2, just stay as long as possible in phase 1 spamming heals and getting your souls to max, and then you could start off the fight by just spamming Archie, and that's a tip that's valid for all Abyss floors, but a lot of times it'll give you that little edge you need to clear the level. If you have any questions, like I said before, just leave them in the comment section below. I respond to pretty much everybody. Good luck on clearing Abyss, and hopefully you get all your awesome Abyss lifesteal gear. Till next time, guys. See you later.